Welcome back, everybody, to AM 1220, KHTS, Santa Cruz hometown station, the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. Let's do something relaxing, John. This show is wearing me out.
Yeah, if only we had sports to talk about.
Let's do it. Where's Mr. Sports? The guy that ditched us last week.
Hey, guys.
Mr. Sports.
You dissed us last week, huh?
My sister got married.
Yeah, it was a great time, too. It was absolutely amazing.
Mr. Sports, we deal in results, not excuses.
No, it wasn't an excuse, and there were a lot of good results of that wedding. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, Mr. Sports, I got to get something on my chest.
Uh-oh.
Kenley Jansen's starting to drive me nuts. Is that fair?
Tell me why.
What's that?
Tell me why.
Because he's not lights out like he was last year. He's given up hits and runs. Last night he gave up the night before, a blown save home run.
You're talking about the Dodgers closer, right?
Yeah.
Because not everybody's a Dodgers fan.
Kenley Jansen's the Dodgers closer. Last year, when he came into a game to close it out, when they were ahead by one run, it was usually lights out, game over, that sort of thing. Not so much this year. What do you think, Mr. Sports?
Well, I don't think you can ultimately come to a result of that yet, just because I think it's early on in the season. But we have seen some closers take the hike, because we saw the Oakland Athletics give former Orioles closer, Mr. Jim Johnson, take a hike. So,
yep,
I think you got to hang in there.
That trade looks really good right now. Stop talking baseball, Doug. We're not quite done with the recap of the NCAA.
I want to talk about what I'm feeling in my heart.
Let's talk about one shining moment.
What is that,
Mr. Sports? How awesome was UConn?
I think I'm still wearing my UConn gear.
I knew you would be. But man, I talk about coming from nowhere. Are they going to be any good, or is it the coach? Is it the system?
Well,
8 seed, 7 seed, or no, 4 seed, right?
Seven
seed.
And the kicker is they're still not even the highest seed to win it.
I know that was Villanova,
85
8 seed. Yeah, there you go. But man, is their coach really that good? Could he be the next coach of the Lakers?
I wouldn't go too far.
Yeah,
that's not.
Oh, what about Calipari to the Lakers?
That rumor was shot down. There's no way he's leaving Kentucky.
Yeah, which job would you rather have, Kentucky or the Lakers?
That's a no-brainer. I'd rather have the Lakers job.
Oh, really? I was going to say Kentucky. The Lakers are going to be bad for a really long time.
But it's the NBA, and you have Mitch Kupchak and Bus right behind you, and you could just break the bank easily.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Lakers are going to be in some really dark waters for quite some time. There's nobody out there. Although at Kentucky, you just reload every year. Yep. You get these one and dones.
See, I don't think it's Kentucky that necessarily reloads. It's Calipari.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, have we gotten word on how many freshmen are coming out early to go to the NBA? In fact, no secret here that we're both Arizona Wildcat fans. Any of those guys declared yet that you know of, Mr. Sports?
Not officially. Rumor has it that Aaron Gordon's going to leave. And surprisingly enough to me, rumor has it that Nick Johnson's going to leave.
Wow. Well, okay, I had heard something about the collective bargaining agreement. They may renegotiate a portion of that and make you stay in college 2 years before you go to the NBA.
Which I like, because that's what the NFL does.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I heard interesting when they were talking to Calipari about how he feels about his players leaving after 1 year. And he really said, who am I to tell a kid who's about to make umpteen $1 million that he should stay around and play for me one more year when he could get severely injured and lose his potential earning power? And if you really think about it, because even if you play for 4 years, what's life all about? You want to be successful and you want to do what's best for your family, particularly financially. So, if a kid's good enough and he's only 18, 19 years old and he's going to get a signing bonus of $12 million and play for $20 million or whatever, who's going to begrudge a 19-year-old for wanting to do that?
Well, there's two things there. Is first of all, you see a bunch of these NBA, not even NBA players to this day, but a lot of them are just going through their money like it's nothing.
Yep.
And thirdly, I love what the NFL does, because you can go and play in college football for 3 years and have the option to leave and forego your senior year and join the NFL. But if you come back to play your senior year, you're almost forced to get your degree. So if you don't make it in the NFL or you encounter that injury, you're almost forced to use that degree, so you have something to fall back on.
Yeah, good point.
All right, Mr. Sports, let's talk baseball real quick. Should we even care this early?
Honestly, no.
Thank you. Let's talk UEF.
What are you,
games.
Johnny Downer? I like baseball this time of year.
162
Yeah, but okay.
games.
You get John, listen to me. Let me teach you something. When you get to the end of the season and it's 161st game and you're a half a game and 1 game out of first place, you're just saying, I wish that game back in April I would have won. And I wouldn't be in this predicament today.
John's just a little hurt because Baltimore is almost in the cellar.
Oh,
That's
they'll
true.
be fine. But that's 648 hours of baseball per team.
Exactly.
Oh,
No, I'm telling you, this game is just as important as the one that's going to be at the end of
yeah,
September.
but
It's fact.
do you have to watch them all?
No.
Good,
You
'cause it's
don't.
boring.
No, what I do is I turn it on. I have the radio on, you know. I grew up listening to Vince Scully with no
So you're
two
listening to
Dodgers.
KHTS.
Yeah, with
the
Vince
Dodger
Scully
broadcast.
and Ross, not Ross,
Ross
Porter. I
Porter.
wish Ross Porter.
Yeah.
The other guys, what's his name? The guy that used to be on ESPN.
Charlie Steiner.
Charlie Steiner
Yeah.
and Rick Monday. And you do a little yard work, John. You clean the pool, you know.
Is this far beyond my time?
Yeah, it does. Thank you. Me too. Me too. Me too, Mr. Sports. Me too. I'm like, wow. All right. Well,
Anyway, I'm just trying to help John live his life.
all right. So, Mr. Sports, we got my favorite thing coming up, and that's the hockey playoffs. Kings made it. It's coming up. They play the Sharks, right?
Yes.
That should be a good series.
Oh, can I ask a question? Because I know
Oh.
nothing about hockey. I don't know what icing is. I don't know what offsides is. But my question is about that. What is? Did they change the playoff format this year for hockey? With
Yeah.
the number of teams and how you get
They
it?
didn't
Didn't it
change-
used to be just like the NBA?
So
Yes.
I believe it's still the same. It's just there was realignment.
There was realignment. That's really what it was. You have 3 wild cards.
Two.
You have 2. I'm sorry, 2 wild cards, but the top 3 in each of the 2 divisions make it. So there's still 8 teams to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, except for the
There's
Washington
just-
Capitals,
there's
who don't make the playoffs.
There's just two divisions now in each conference, Doug.
Right.
Okay. So who's going to be favored? Since I know nothing.
Do you want to answer that, John, or do you want me to take that?
Mr. Sports, you're the expert. I think it's too early.
Well, right now, Boston's the favorite.
I think
They have
you're right.
the best. They have the best record in the National Hockey League, but Anaheim is right there too.
All right, Mr. Sports. Thanks once again. We'll talk to you next week.
And we'll
got it.
see everybody next
We'll see
week.
everybody next week. Oh, Mr. Sports, Delaney says hi. You're listening to the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John, Santa Clara's hometown station, AM 1220.